Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm going to be your host and producer this afternoon, Logan Landers. And join me today to talk about the NCAA legend, Freddie Steinmark, the former safety out of the University of Texas, Mr. Jay McMinn. Jay, how you doing today, first and foremost, my friend?
Hey, thanks for having me, Logan. I'm doing well, man. I appreciate it.
As always.
Freddie Steinmark, man, out of Texas, one of my boys, man. He didn't have a long career. He wasn't a very big guy. He was only 5'9", maybe 165 pounds. Played defensive back as well as safety. More of a safety than anything else, I think. But obviously, he died of bone cancer after having his leg amputated due to a tumor that they found behind his kneecap there. And unfortunately, 2 years after that, then he went on and passed away. But he will always be known for the national championship that he won in 1969 and the game of the century when he played versus Arkansas. Those are his two biggest accolades. And he also inspired Congress to initiate the National Care Act or National Cancer Act, which is the war on cancer. So he got the war on cancer started. So, his life, while short at the age of 22, born in 49 and he died in 71, and Richard Milhouse Nixon was his president when he passed and initiated that act in lieu of him. And so, again, they still name stuff after him there at Texas, the stadium and whatnot. So he will always live forever there at University of Texas, and our heart goes out to him and his family. But what a career and what a person he was.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know about Freddie Steinmark and his story, it's something that they, you say the phrase, you make a movie out of it, and they did make a movie out of it in 2015, titled My All-American, just going through the story of Freddie Steinmark, what all he went through throughout his life and throughout, his college career, from life to death. And I think when you look at just his work as a whole, Jay, we all come on here and we talk about players and, their leaping ability, their the way they can read defenses, they can cover a guy really well. That's all fine. But Jay, the one thing we always talk about is how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
And I think Freddie Steinmark is the testament to how bad you want it, Jay. For God's sake, the guy played, as you mentioned, in the game of the century versus Arkansas back in 1969. 2 days after that game, it was revealed that he did have a bone tumor right above his knee. And then, as you mentioned, just a little bit, less than a week later, actually, his leg was amputated. But a guy who, you just see him on the screen there, happy to be playing football, just an absolute legend at Texas, as you know. And once the year transitioned into 1970, another thing too is at the Cotton Bowl. People forget, Jay, he was on the sideline just 20 days after all of the amazing high that he felt at the game of the century, helping lead his team, to victory in that close 15-14 game, to then unfortunately having his leg amputated due to, like you mentioned, due to his cancer and whatnot. And just how inspiring it is, as you mentioned, it didn't just change. Like I said, it was made into a law from President Nixon. So, like I said, very unfortunate, very sad that he passed away at such a young age. Like I said, he's only 22. So, unfortunately, just a really short life, but one that was just, a guy who was full of joy, loved playing football, loved being at the University of Texas, and repping that uniform. And like you said, just unfortunately, what all happened, but I think it kind of stands as a testament, as I said, to how bad you want something and to just not take life, for granted, to live every day to the best you can, to be as happy as you can, and to just enjoy it. And, unfortunately, we lost Freddie Steinmark at a very young age. But, obviously his legacy lives on forever in the minds of not just Texas fans, but in the fans of just football in general. So once again, may he rest in peace all these years later. But I'm glad that we were able to talk about him today and recount his story and look back on him and reflect on the absolute legend in the sense that he is, and the legend of Freddie Steinmark, the former safety for the University of Texas. Jay McLovin, always a pleasure, my man, talking some football with you, talking about the legend you see here on the screen. I've been your host and producer, Logan Landers. Guys, if you enjoyed this breakdown, if you enjoyed us talking about Freddie Steinmark or any of the other videos we have on our channel, go and check us out, please. We're on Facebook and YouTube every single week. Go back and look at all of our previous draft episodes we've done as well. We covered over 180 players in the 2024 NFL Draft. See what we thought of them. See if your team picked up a stud or a dud. And just let us know in the comments. We always appreciate it. Once again, for Jay McLovin and your host and producer, Logan Landers. We'll talk to you guys on another live episode. We'll see you.